Yay Media Group.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Happy November 1st. And if you're on Patreon, just kidding. If you're just an audio listener, happy Halloween. Dun,
If you're
dun,
listening
dun.
to this on Thursday, happy Halloween. If it's November, then don't mind Mike. He has to go.
Mike supported us throughout the whole October month, and now he's gone. And don't mind everything else. We will get that situated next week, guys. But you know what? I'm just going to speak for future me. I am so excited. I woke up in the best mood November 1st. Why? New month, new me, whatever. But tonight we're going to the Short and Sweet tour, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, shoot. I thought you scared me for a sec.
Bruh.
Tonight.
I said I'm talking for my future self. I'm going to go see Sabrina Carpenter live and scream my lungs out to please, please, please. And I couldn't be happier. It's the best day of my life so far.
Yeah, and I've been seeing those TikTok trends lately, babe. So you love Sabrina so much, you gotta do the trend as well.
Which one?
You gotta do the positions trend when you get home.
Oh my God. When I get to the hotel.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
We'll get a separate
hotel
room.
with 2 kids.
We'll get a...
Mama, it's okay. You're not gonna get a little brother or sister anytime soon.
We'll get a separate room for my sister so I can come and see what... I hope we get a new position because we usually... she doesn't always put a new position, but if we do, I'll come home and I'll show you, babe. So make sure you pack your favorite condom brand.
Ew.
Sponsored today. Just kidding, guys. We still haven't gotten a brand deal for our favorite condom brand. So
yeah,
I don't know if we're ever going to disclose those details.
Nah, I say we should.
Really? What are they called?
Yeah.
Nah, we're going to save it for another spicy Q&A.
Oh, yeah,
and we'll
we
bring
should.
the box and we'll show you the picture.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
We'll show you. But anyways, guys, we asked Instagram. We figured since it's November 1st, we start off fresh. Maybe the new podcast listeners are tuning in and maybe you want to know something new or different. So we're like, we're going to do not questions necessarily, but we're going to do speed round topics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we'll jump topic to topic, kind of I think that's better than just questions. So
totally.
we did Q&A topics to start off fresh for November. Okay, we're going to start off at the bottom. First one. I'm going to say names today, unless it's bad.
Okay.
Because these aren't bad. Aneth.m said, Parenthood.
Guys, I don't know.
How has Parenthood been?
I feel like Parenthood is really just a lot of work. Genuinely, Jonathan and I don't really have a social life at all whatsoever. Mm-hmm. This last weekend, I had a lot of FOMO because it seems like all of our friends were at a Halloween party and we were not.
Yeah.
So it's right now our kids are at an age where not only do we not like leaving them, and we can't because Belen is exclusively breastfed, but it's just hectic right now. And I know that it's just a season. So it's amazing and we love it so much. It just feels like we have a little bit of a social life. Actually, we don't have any social life right now.
No, it feels
so
like we don't have.
When we have our little outings, the concert that I've been looking forward to for so long, or Jonathan,
Yesterday the Broncos game,
it feels really fulfilling. But yeah, when they grow up, it takes such a little time for them to grow up and go out on their own. So
I don't have any FOMO, guys. I always say this: have kids when you're ready, and by ready, yeah, you'll never be ready as in I can be a parent now. But in the sense where ya sacaste todo, right? Everything you've been wanting to do, all the partying, all the drinking. And if you feel in your heart, in your mind, you still have your party days ahead of you, then it's okay. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40. Maybe kids weren't meant for you. Don't listen to society that you should have kids. It's not for everyone. But for example, I started young. I feel like you did too with the whole, you weren't a party animal.
No, I was going to say, I feel like you feel this way because you started partying at 16, literally.
Yeah.
At 6, not even, probably even younger, you were going to house parties and kickbacks and all of these high school things. And I didn't start partying till I graduated high school. And my mom gave me a little bit more leverage to go out and be out late at night, so.
Yeah. So I got it out of my system. I look at alcohol and I do not even, if it's not an iced tea with vodka, like super sweet with alcohol, then I'm not drinking it. You know, shots, all that.
Yeah.
Like, don't even invite me. So when I see my friends partying, it's fun, and you know, I wish them the best. But in no shape, way, or form do I wish I was there, especially with kids now. So yeah, even though yesterday was the Broncos game, we still took Belen. So
Yeah, and she was an amazing star.
now when we have one kid, it's like the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, it's
because
like
we're
nothing.
used to two.
It's a breeze. But yeah, all that to say,
Parenthood.
I had FOMO. Jonathan didn't. But I'm just a friends girl. You know, I love having friends and going out with friends and doing all the things. Jonathan's more reserved, partied for 7 years before he had kids. So you're good off of that.
Yeah. Now the only thing I'm itching for is like traveling.
Yeah.
And like
Or sports.
Yeah.
Like
events,
going to sports
you know.
without being like, oh, I'm leaving the kids behind, you know?
Yeah. Transition from boyfriend/girlfriend to marriage. How was that? That was the best, honestly. I always talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this a lot, but I feel like our relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend was really challenging in a way, just because, you know, we were toxic, whatever, we went through on and off relationships. But when we got married, as you guys all know, and I feel like we've said this so many times, Jonathan went to therapy. He changed because he wanted to. He asked me to marry him because he wanted to. Like, so it was a really amazing change, because we like got married, and literally the next month we were in our own apartment, and then, you know, just got a dog, and it was just super happy. And that's what we always say. Don't think marriage or kids or like more commitment is gonna fix your issues. Please make sure that you fix everything before you decide to marry someone, because marriage is a huge deal. And
yeah, I think we owe that. You're right. It's a huge deal, but we know it. We knew it was a huge deal thanks to our parents. You know, I think that's why once, like me, I can speak like as a man, and we got married or asked you to marry me, like a switch goes off, and it's like, okay, no more toxicity, no more messing around, no more this and that, because I'm married. And my parents always told me that if I do something bad in marriage, I'm going to hell, you know? So like, or it's like un sacramento
y un sacrificio.
y un sacrificio. Yeah. So like, thanks to our parents, we know it's a big deal. If your parents haven't talked to you about marriage, or don't make it seem like it's a big deal as it is, you just see it as like, oh, we're getting married next week, you know, whatever, with the court or whatever. Then that's when, like, if you thought it was easy getting married, then you thinking divorce is going to be easy too, you know?
Yeah. And also, I just feel like a lot of people think about it so nonchalantly. Like, I just want to get married and move out, and like my parents to stop telling me what to do. But it's like, at the end of the day, everything happens so fast. And I love to say this because my mom used to say it all the time, like, it's gonna happen eventually, so prolong it as long as you can. Like marriage, kids, all these adult responsibilities that you don't really need and that come eventually. Like, you're eventually going to have all of these responsibilities, so just enjoy growing up and enjoy your parents. And I know it's easier said than done, because a lot, like, even now I see my sisters, I'm like, oh my god, these girls do not know how good they have it. But yeah, I feel like when you turn 17, 18, and 19, you kind of start realizing it. But yeah, just, you know, love your parents, enjoy being at home, because once you move out of your house with your parents, like, that's it, you know? Your life changes forever. It's never going to be the same.
Yeah. S. Stacy, but instead of an A, it's a 4.
Period, queen.
How were you raised versus what you're doing differently with your babies?
Oh my god.
That's a good question. Everything opposite. Right?
I
mean, like, in terms of like
some
bad, like, you know,
Yeah,
everything
well,
that happened bad to us, we're doing the opposite.
intentionally.
Yes.
But there's a lot of things that we're taking from it.
Oh yeah, that we're doing good.
Yeah.
Like
so,
confidence and all that.
Yeah, I just feel like one thing my mom did really good was unconditional love and unconditional support. So at the end of the day, I feel like Jonathan is kind of my balance stick, because I know my mom unconditionally loved every single one of us, but it could have been a little conditionals, you know? So I think with that, like, Jonathan comes in and I can see like where he will balance that out for me. And
for me, I was all conditional love. If you didn't bring good grades, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day. If you're not doing something good, I'm not talking to you, or I'm yelling at you, know? So we balance each other out perfectly.
Yeah. Like, you know when to, like, you help me set my boundaries.
Yeah.
Well,
And
not right
you
now
help
because
me
he's
be-
literally 2 and 7 months. But I feel like as when they become teenagers, Jonathan's gonna be the best balance for me, because me growing up, or even my sisters and my brother, like my mom, you could do no wrong in her eyes. Like she would yell at you for like 2 seconds and be like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" Or, "Oh, do you want to go to the store?" You know. So yeah, I feel like we're taking all the good and intentionally changing it. I mean, all the bad intentionally changing it, and then implementing all the good in the ways that we really want to.
Yeah. I want to say something positive my mom would do was like the confidence. She always told me, when you have your Lamborghini, what color is it going to be? When you have a mansion, what are you, not if, never if, when, So I passed that on to Franco, like, y tú que, like, aquí vas a jugar tú un día.
O
like,
cuando quieras, o cuando tengas ¿qué vas a hacer?
Oh, papá, ¿me compras un Jeep? Sí, te lo voy a comprar. ¿Qué color va a ser? Stuff like that. So just taking the positives and doing the opposite from the negatives. I saw this TikTok that said just remember how you felt when you were little. So do the opposite. Why would you do the same thing,
Yeah.
Annette, oh, it's the same girl. Damn, you have a lot of questions. Well, that last girl wasn't the same girl, but the beginning. Starting family traditions from someone not so traditional. I like this one. I already have one. You guys know it's the 1 mile per age turkey trot.
Yeah, one for me, I think that I really want to start at least this year is holiday pictures, because I feel like my mom growing up, I feel like we never took any professional family pictures. So at least holiday professional pictures with the family is gonna be for sure. Like where you get them the cute, elegant outfits, and a cute backdrop.
I want to do more sports, like the Broncos game. We took Belen to her first Broncos game yesterday. So that's now a tradition. They both have baby pictures from their first game. And if they ever grow up, or Belen marries a husband that hopefully is a Broncos fan, then she can like show that off and like be like, dude, I was literally in here before you were even born. So.
And something else I really want is like you know how you say the turkey trot for Thanksgiving? Something that I've always seen in movies is like it's Thanksgiving week and everyone goes to a football game, and then everyone goes to the movies before Thanksgiving dinner, and then it's Thanksgiving dinner, and then everyone goes Black Friday shopping. Like I want our holidays to not just be like, oh, it's Christmas Day and it's so fun, and then se acaba. Like I want leading up to the holiday to be really fun and special, like baking Christmas cookies, making sure you watch The Grinch on this exact day, so just like cute things like that.
Yeah. And then I have another family tradition. Well, it's kind of family with friends. Every World Cup from now on, I will be throwing like a cabin getaway weekend.
Yes.
So whether it be with their friends or like family friends. So we did that last World Cup 2022. And then 2023, everyone thought I was going to do it again. Like everyone was messaging me, are you going to do the cabin again? Are you going to, or like
I was
new
too
people
pregnant.
Or new people. Hey, like, can we be invited to your cabin this year? And I was like, that was kind of just for the World Cup, guys. But we can, So now 2024? No, 6. 2026.
Oh, that's going to be a tradition,
World
not
Cup.
every year.
No, every 4 years for the World Cup.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's a great way to catch up with your like friends, where like they have to make that trip. Like the high school movies.
For 4 years, so it's like put a little bit in savings, because you know that on this World Cup day we're gonna all hang out.
We're gonna have like snowboarding, skiing activities. We're watching the World Cup,
and all the kids will be bigger too, like every 4 years. So it'd be really nice.
We're always looking for nutritious options to add to our daily routine. Well, we finally found one that tastes amazing and isn't expensive.
Orgain has cracked the code on providing nutrition and tastes incredible. And the best part is that it won't leave a hole in your pocket.
Orgain is the leader in real protein-powered nutrition that understands that being good for you doesn't have to taste bad.
A big reason we started using Orgain is because it helps us meet our protein intake and it tastes delicious at the same time. Orgain's brand new 30-gram complete protein shakes offer protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings, with only 1 gram of sugar per serving, no soy ingredients, and no artificial sweeteners or flavors.
Personally, their 30-gram protein shake helps me so much on the daily, because when I'm running around chasing after my toddler, I know that all I need to do is drink one of these shakes to meet my protein goals for the day.
And while Orgain has a wide selection of vegan and plant-based products, the 30-gram protein shake does contain dairy.
Orgain's 30-gram protein shakes are available at Orgain.com.
If you want to get in on the delicious protein-packed nutrition today, head to orgain.com/spillthebeans and use code SPILLTHEBEANS for 20% off your order.
Once again, that's orgain.com/spillthebeans for 20% off, and make sure you use our promo code SPILLTHEBEANS so they know we sent you. Ooh, this is a good idea from Andrea23. Thanksgiving special. Have us send short messages who/what they are thankful for.
Yeah, so we're going to do a Thanksgiving special. Who you're
good.
thankful for, but we're going to do a Thanksgiving tea.
Yeah, also tea. I want all the tea from your tía, your primas.
Yeah.
Porque se pelean. Are there really families out there that do that?
Yeah.
I feel like the most with us has been like subtle, like indirectas. But
Yeah.
never así de que se agarren, you know?
No.
Like, oh, no, es que tía, usted no hace, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there are families that are watching this. Girl,
Yeah,
you're
so
probably listening to this like,
please.
no, let me send you my story. And we want those, okay?
Yeah, we'll let you guys know when those come. Probably closer to Thanksgiving.
Holiday plans. Okay, Amy Sarali. Holiday plans for your family or any winter trips you guys have.
Oh my
We
God.
might or might not be going to Mexico. We don't know yet because it is too freaking cold.
Yeah, I feel like Belen is so little. But also, like, she won't be walking, so it might be a good idea. I don't know. I feel like that will be a tradition as well. Like a Mexico trip. So yeah, we don't know about that. We actually don't know. We have at least one trip secure, right? Disney for Penny.
Disney for Penny.
We
We're
might
going
do
Disney World.
Yeah, we're doing Disney World for the first time with Penny during winter, which will be a perfect getaway for all of us. And then we might do a Disney trip before that with our family. You don't think so? I think so.
Babe. Halloween passed. I don't want to be in Disney for, like, the two coolest times to be in Disney are for Halloween or Christmas. So why would we go in November? Do they even decorate for November?
Yeah.
I think they decorate for Christmas right after Halloween,
so.
right? There's
Maybe.
not a turkey like theme.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, other than that, we don't have any trips coming up soon.
Mexico, maybe. I feel like you guys really enjoy the Mexico vlogs porque hablamos más español. We show our different side of our family in Mexico. And who knows, this time we can also vlog Jimena Magali's first time going to Mexico, which would be a trip, guys. Because
oh my God, they would actually like they're either gonna love it or hate it.
It would be both. Like, imagine them going to the bathroom, because the bathrooms over there suck, right? Showering, the bathrooms in general, but but then the going to bailes or hanging out with friends, you know.
I feel like you lose a lot of luxury in a sense, but you gain a lot of freedom. So it's a love-hate relationship that everybody has. I never got to have it because I never got to go, but it's fun.
La Roops said, perspective of a man. What? And you know what? I'm going to take this time, babe, because I wanted to tell you this yesterday, but I never had the chance. I was like, when we were doing, because it sucks how, I'm going to be straight up honest. I'm going to spill the beans. Sometimes life, like, you do things and they seem so, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Normal. You know, like yesterday when I was on the field, or like up until like we were almost leaving, then I realized like, it was actually when I was taking did you see when I took a picture of the field when we were leaving and you were putting Belen in the car seat?
Yeah.
That's when it hit me, because I was like, I was just in there on the field, on the grass, like, next to the football players. I watched the planes go by, the parachute guys land, and I was on the field. Not just like on the sidelines, like I was on the grass, you know, like there's probably Bronco fans that live their whole life and never get that experience, you know? And then I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? And then there was a time, I think right before the game was starting, you wanted to get all the snacks, all the food, go to the bathroom, get water, do all that, and then go to the game. And it had already started, and I was starting to get like, come on, bro. Like, you know, but then I went to the bathroom, and then my mind changed really like quickly, like 360. And I was like, you know what? Like, because I always tell Blanca this. I was like, look, if I wasn't with you, maybe I wouldn't be a YouTuber or social media at all. But I want to say that monetarily wise, financially, I would still be doing good, right? I would have gotten my CDO. I've always been into
You
business.
have your CDO.
Or I have my CDO. I would have, continued my dad's path, bought in a semi truck or started in a restaurant, something. Point being, I would still try to be rich, right? But no matter how much money I make, I would never have made the connections that you make, which allow me to do these cool experiences, So I'm super thankful for you because like, yeah, I can picture this like young single guy over here, like making this money, but like, I still wouldn't be doing all the things that I have with you and our kids, So I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like, thanks to my wife, I get to be on the field, like, yeah. Is there a way to pay for it? Like a pass? I don't know. I don't even know if there is, but like, it's for free, like it's so cool. So
that was kind of insane.
That was my perspective of a man for the day. Is to be thankful for your wives because
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Oh, since the holidays can be hard for people, very good point, Andrea. People would like another mental health episode with my mom.
Ooh,
that's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
So we'll be doing that soon.
That is a great idea because not only is it like holiday season, but if you live in colder states, the seasonal depression is about to hit everyone. You know? So
next question, setting boundaries with in-laws.
You know what, guys? I am very
you read
happy.
My mind. Huh? You read my mind.
Oh, I'm so happy I've never had to.
Me neither.
Like speak out any boundaries. Like I feel like both of our parents have common sense.
Mm-hmm.
They both
pick up on things.
They pick up on things. They know, like your parents know you very well. My parents know me very well. And in turn, they do things not because they're like, oh, like my parents don't do things being like, oh, Jonathan's going to do this, going to do that. It's basically being like, I know Yulisa doesn't like this, and your parents do the same with you. So there's never been a time where we'd have to be like, okay, babe, you better tell your parents that I don't want this and this and this, It's never been like that. No. So I'm just glad because I would actually crumble under that pressure.
Yeah. Same thing. You took the words out of my mouth. Like we've never had to, like even if there's no common sense, like let's say your mom does something and she didn't, it goes up against like what I think or believe for our kids or whatever. Even with the slightest response from us or from me, or even like 5 seconds after she does it, if my body language isn't what she was expecting, she changes. Like that was it. Like that was her answer. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't take us like jamming it down our parents' throats. And that's what's so sad because I know a lot of you guys have those suegros where like you constantly repeat, especially with kids, no quiero que hagan esto, and they still do it. Or your husband defends their mom and goes behind your back. And it's like, bro, that must be so frustrating,
I think one of the ones that really sticks out to me is the Coke and chocolate. When you're like, I don't want my kids to have Coke and chocolate. And then the grandparents are like, we give them Coke and chocolate every time they come. Oh, I remember my dad would always, when Franco was like 7-8 months, would always joke, "Quiere coquita, mijo, quiere probarla," like when he was drinking it. And he would always do it in a sentence where I'd be like, no, like no Coke. And I wouldn't laugh it off because I knew like this is a boundary that no one can cross. But since I wouldn't laugh it off or anything, my mom picked it up right away and she'd be like, no, ni lo digas de chiste, ni lo digas de chiste. And my dad just stopped doing it, so it's like now I know that they'll never give him Coke behind my back, right? Yeah. So it's like things like that. But if you ever had to, oh my God, girl, I pray for you because that's really hard. I feel like if it was ever your parents or like my parents, it's easier for you to talk to your husband and be like, hey, babe, can you tell your parents to do this? Or hey, babe, can you tell your parents to do that? Because I would never personally sit with my suegra and be like, I don't like when you do this. Can you please stop? Yeah. That would actually ruin me.
And I feel like times are changing. Grandmas are more like younger now. Like you don't really hear about like, I don't know why, but like those grandmas or like suegras tend to be older. Yeah. When you have problems with them. Yeah. Not always but now I feel like grandmas are like changing with the times. They're looking younger. Like my mom is a grandma. She looks, super young, and like your mom does too. Like in the sense of like están como que su espíritu está más joven. They're not like renegadas, Like your mom isn't like, your mom might have like a 32-year-old, but no es como renegada señora. You know what I mean? Vibes? Like she's like a mom, like a new mom, and a new grandma. So it's like they're more chill. I guess it also
just has a lot to do with the fact that our parents still have young kids too. you know.
Mhm.
Like your mom still, her youngest is what, 12?
Yeah,
And 13, and my mom's youngest is 14. So it's like they have to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
Quiera o no, you know.
Friendship advice / how to improve relationship with parents.
Friendships and parents. I feel like with parents, I always say you only have them for so little too. You know, like I wish parents would live forever and ever and ever, but as you grow, so do they. Like you never realize that they are getting older too. So it's like I've always said this: if you have a tough relationship with your mom or dad, but in your heart you feel like this is forgivable, like I could forgive them for this and I could work on my relationship, please do, because I always say this too: you will never regret working on a relationship with your parent. You will always regret if you didn't, because you always have the what if I didn't, because say you try to work on it, it just doesn't work, they keep hurting you, cool, at least you know. And when something happens, Dios no lo quiera, you're always gonna be like, well, I tried my best and it couldn't change, or I really tried and I regret not trying, so I feel like that's what I always say with improving your relationship with your parents.
And I'm the exact opposite. I think your parents are the older person in this situation.
Oh my God, babe.
So they should, like, if they did you wrong, I think they should apologize and try to make things better. And now that I'm my dad, I can fully confirm that, because in no way, shape, or form, if I did something to Franco, would I expect him to, like, I would always be behind my little boy, like,
yeah, I guess
hey,
what I'm
I'm
trying
sorry.
to say,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if your parents have reached out to you and like are trying to mend things, then do it.
Yeah.
But if you cannot go if they haven't apologized.
Because we see it. There's so many instances where girls, they have a bad relationship with their parents, and the girl is the one trying to fix things, calling her mom, calling her dad. And I'm like, gonna be me,
Yeah.
Do you think God still listens even if you don't go to church / read the Bible? Of course. There's no doubt, guys.
Okay, elaborate.
No, I think that's
that's the
my
answer.
I think God loves every single one of us, no matter what. Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to get too deep, but God transcends church, God transcends Bible. Like, God is all love and is in every second and aspect of your life. So he loves you. As long as you're making an effort to talk to him or to be with him, the things will come, like me. Like, I might not go to church every Sunday or read the Bible, of course, but I still talk to him. And then si se ofrece, like, sometimes I'll see a verse and then I'll read it on TikTok, or I know it sounds silly, TikTok, but I do get Bible verses on my For You page sometimes, and it'll be like, okay, you wanted me to see this, or, this and that. So I think todo su tiempo, like, a lot of people claim or say they have found God like early, which is great, but then they get it all over with. They get all over the hype of with God in their 20s, and then they're lost in their 40s and 50s, So like I said this a while ago, y como que le cayó el 20 a Blanca, like, a relationship with God is not perfect, and it's like your parents, it's like your boyfriend, like your girlfriend. It's something you have to work on for the rest of your life. It's not like, oh my God, I went to un retiro, I went to a youth group thing, I found God and everything is wonderful all over again. Nunca voy a tener vicios, nunca voy a, you know what I mean? No, you're going to talk to God every once in a while. Like, I mean, like, every night it should be, right? But what I'm trying to say is, like, those deep, like, I found God moments will be all throughout your life.
Yeah.
Not just once and, oh my God, I'm forever healed,
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you, honey bunch. It's a lifelong commitment.
What would you say is your number one first time mom tip, babe? Like, I know there's so many, but if someone had a gun to your head and they're like, give us your last mommy tip or your best, what is it?
First time mom tip?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know. First time mom tip, but what would my tip be? I feel like one of my first time mom tips would be ask for help sooner than you think. You know what I mean?
Okay, elaborate.
So my thing is, I feel like I've seen this in a lot of moms, some that I'm close to, where they try to do it all on their own, which God bless, I know that moms can do it. It's really tough, but they try to do it all on their own. And then because the their thoughts before it's like, no, I got it. Like, if I'm the mom, I do it all. I am not going to have anyone help me, blah, blah, blah. And I never say anything because obviously you do what you want with your kids. But then they end up being like, oh, well, my mom started coming to help me, or my cuñada started coming to help me. And she just them holding my baby like lets me get so many things done around the house. And it's like, that's the first thing that I would say. Like, don't be afraid, because Jonathan always likes to say que no están, no, que no se hacen están, right? The guys. So it's like, don't be afraid to just ask for help. Like, I know, and I went through this a lot, and I still sometimes do go through this where I'm like, I'm not going to ask for help. Like, I can do it, even though it's a lot of mental load, I can do it. But literally I have to be like, hey babe, do you think you can help me with this today? Like, for the last two or three times I've been like, hey babe, do you think you can fold the laundry? Because I just get so overstimulated that I can't fold all of Franco's laundry, because it literally, like, tiny laundry makes me so overstimulated sometimes. So that's the thing that I would say. It's like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, hey, can you come at least once a week, just sit here and like talk to me, And I'm not saying help like around the house or help taking care of your baby. It's like even help with your mental health, with where your friend just comes over and brings you coffee and sits with you for an hour,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's my thing. Don't be afraid, or ask for it before you feel like you're in the trenches and you can't get out,
Yeah. Or if you really struggle with, this only pertains to with your spouse. I saw this TikTok where it said that you can share notes.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of having to ask your husband to do something every single day, or te da pena, or you feel weak doing it, you just do like a shared notes on your phone, and then you put a list of things that you want done, and so will he, that you can do for him. And, just remind, hey, like, have you looked at the notes today? Say he hasn't done something on there for a while. Have you looked at the notes? And that's all you got to say, for him to
You avoid conflict.
Yeah, you avoid conflict. So I've been doing a kind of a better job of asking Blanca, like, hey, babe, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to help you with? But sometimes I forget, or sometimes I'm tired with my own thing. No, like, sometimes I'm tired with my own thing, like I get home from coaching, and then I shower and do Franco's nighttime, and then I forget that, like, she still has a whole life after that, which is like Blanca J time, and I have to help with that,
Yeah, I guess a lot of people always say, like, it's hard, because I know that when you think about it, like, your spouse shouldn't be asking you, hey, what do you need help with? Because you know what you have to do around the house. Like, laundry has to get done. The dishes have to be washed. I like to clean the living room, whatever. But it's like, sometimes it truly is just reminding them, because we all get overstimulated, and we all have a lot of mental load that we don't share with other people. So if you're married, like, the least you can do is communicate more, So yeah, I know my husband should know that he has to take the trash out, but I'm just going to remind him, because maybe he is thinking about other things, So sometimes you just gotta, hey babe, did you take the trash out today? And then he'll be like, oh shit, I forgot.
Unfortunately, it's just part of life.
Yeah. It's
I
part
never
of marriage.
forget. I like taking out the trash.
Honey,
Babe,
please
what's the
don't say
time?
never say never. What the times? 29.
Oh, we still got time.
What do we have? Any more?
Yeah, we have a lot more. Are you kidding me? Okay, I wanted to ask this question because I need help, and I feel like, because, como te digo, you found your passion in this, and this is what you love, and the people follow you for who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I have a whole life that doesn't have to do with girls and family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do I balance that? Because, so this guy, Sebastian, shout out to you, said, Jonathan, you should make a podcast about boys talk. And I don't know, Sebastian, if you're the same person. It's like a different name on YouTube, where like on the Spill the Beans, you also say like, hey, bring back the boys podcast or start a new one. And it's like, look, I've always been very self-aware, and I've been a realist, right? So I know what my following is. I know it's all comes from Blanca, 100%. Obviously, probably have 3 friends from high school that follow me that don't have to do anything with you, right? And like, I know it's because of the husband and dad content, but there are genuinely things that I love and I would want to post, but I can't, because that's not who it is. Like, for example, like, I would love to talk shit more on like football and like what happens during the game and after, but I'm like, I know 54,000 girls don't want to hear this or see this and potentially unfollow me. And like, I know half of you are thinking like, no, Jonathan, like, stay true to yourself, be yourself. But no, I think that's doing a disservice to all the people that follow me, because I acknowledge it, why they follow me, So I've been thinking like, do I make new socials and then do whatever I want there? But then that gives me like fake vibes where like on the normal Jonathan, the one that has all the followers, I'm like a dad and husband, you know?
Yeah. I guess my advice to you would be just do whatever you want on your socials. Like if you lose followers, who cares?
But that's not like I'm thankful for what I have and what I do. And it's like, I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you got famous doing cooking videos and all of a sudden you freaking, I don't know what, you got an infection in your nose and you can't smell food anymore, or you get the ick. And it's like, I'm just going to be posting sandal reviews from now on. And it's like, well, we didn't really follow you for the sandals, you know? Could you like, you know, so I get it. But it's like, I feel like my life se me está gastando and I'm not truly doing things on social media that I wish I could. You know what I mean?
Then that's why I'm saying that you just do it and who cares? The real ones will stick. Because if you feel that way, like at the end of the day, you end up not posting anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not posting what you really want to post and you're not posting what you know people want to see. And at the end of the day, you end up posting nothing. So I think that a lot of us would much rather see what you really want to post, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you really want to talk shit about the Broncos or something because they lose a game, who cares?
Yeah. It's just like, I know like some topics that I want to talk about, no one from my followers would probably know what it is, you know? Yeah. Because I'm like my For You page and
But then it would be intriguing because I guess I'm taking from, you know, Hayden Schneider. Mm-hmm. He literally talks about anything and everything on his stories. Yeah. And then in between those stories, it's pictures of Axel, videos of the kids.
That's true. I can do both.
Playing and then Katie feeding the baby, you know? So it's like one story is him talking about politics. The next story is the babies and then Katie, you know? So he truly, like, in the moment, he just posts whatever he was thinking about. So
I'm going to do that, babe. Good advice. Wow. I didn't even have to go thousands of miles or to thousands of viewers to get that advice.
You can just implement everything.
Like both. You can do both.
Yeah.
You know?
Because then people would be like, skip these 3 stories. Oh, here's Franco, you know?
Yeah.
Franco. I called him Franco all day yesterday, and I was like, why am I doing that?
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned, guys. Go follow Jonathan on social media and see what the heck he really wants to talk about.
Do you want to read some? We're like, that's the one I asked.
Oh my gosh, I feel like a lot of people are always talking about like marriage and like, can we talk more about that? Relationship advice, marriage topics, how to forgive and forget. More am I the asshole? Should we do? I think I want to do one of those.
The biggest tip I got from marriage, guys, was forget the little things. And ever since I started doing that, it has helped so much. Because this guy said, if you want to be married for 30, 40, 50 years, you just got to let go of the little stuff. Oh, your wife made this comment. Oh, your wife did this and they made you feel, but it's not like no divorcing type shit. Then it's like, let go of it. Because then if you just keep bickering, keep fighting, keep doing like and I feel like Blanca in a way has done that too a little bit more, you know, like, you know how I get over shit in 15 minutes. Like you kind of, instead of it being a whole day type of thing, it's half a day now, you know, or like 5 hours. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but she's kind of letting go of things, you know?
Yeah.
But
I think what really helped me, guys, it's, I don't know, like being married is a whole nother ordeal, you know? And I know literally as your marriage gets older, whatever, you get more years on your belt, there are new conflicts that come about. Like, truly, people think that marriage is perfect. It's not perfect. And all of these people selling it to you on social media, I promise you that they fight, they bicker. The only thing is that they put marriage first. And they're like, okay, whatever, get over it. We're going to be married and we love each other, whatever. So what I've learned with, like, being married to Jonathan for a while now and, like, dating him and watching him grow from 16 up until right now 26 or 27, as he likes to say, because he thinks he's already 27. It's just like you truly have to accept the person that you're with, you know? And Jonathan has done and does and always makes really crazy remarks and like decisions and
like what? Just
like,
do you have an example?
I have a lot of examples. Like, I feel like to the littlest thing, like when he's brushing his teeth, right? He gargles the mouthwash and then he scrapes his tongue and then he brushes his teeth and then he has to get like 4 good gags out there. And it's like, I used to like literally sit in the bathroom. I'm like, why is he freaking why is he gagging? But it's like, that's literally part of his routine and his day cannot go about if he didn't do those whole things, you know? So I just ended up being like, why does it bother me? Like, it's not doing anything to hurt me. So just accept him and like laugh about it. Like, oh my God, here he goes. And it's just something that your kids learn. Like, I feel like subconsciously when Franco hears that, he's like, oh my God, my dad's brushing his teeth. So as he grows old, he knows like that's my dad's morning routine, you know? So it's literally just accepting the person that you married because you married them for a reason, right? And I always see this, even these last couple of months when Jonathan was coaching, did it get a little hard? Yes, because it was hard knowing like he's gonna be gone for almost 3 hours out of the day, where it gets hectic for me. It's like witching hour. Franco is like really on edge and anything makes him cry or mad. And then Belen is like her biggest wake window, so it got really hard. But then I would go to the games and I would see his face light up, or every time he would come home, he would have new tea and like we would laugh about everything that happened at practice. So it's like, this is why I married him, you know? I met him playing soccer and now he's coaching soccer at his high school. And yeah, like you just have to really let go of the small things, like the little things, and then know that you accept and love the person that you're with, you know? There's things that are going to bother you about them your whole life. But as long as you accept them as a person, then literally like it saves you 50% of your arguments, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like when you're trying to find your right person, you got to make sure the core is right? Like think about it as an apple. Like the core is right, and then everything else around it, the skin, the part of the fruit you actually eat, can be faulty, can be messed up, can be disgusting, like Blanca calls me, and gross and like a pig.
I've never called you disgusting or a pig.
Just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is like, whereas like a lot of girls, I'm gonna pick on you girls, right? The core is rotten, it's messed up, but you see all these other things around the core. 6 foot tall, smells really good, has a motorcycle and tattoos, you know, all this fluff that doesn't matter. So when you marry and you're with that person, you're like, shit, like it's the core that sucks, and that's not fixable.
And I just have to say something. I feel like being on social media is really hard in the sense that you see all these couples and you're like, oh my God, they have the perfect relationship. And then guess what happens? They get a divorce and you're like, oh shit, like he did this and this and this. Like I would never. And then you look at your husband and you're like, oh my God. Like with Jonathan, for example, and I'm just going to pick on you, babe, because you're my husband and this is Spill the Beans podcast. Something that's been really hard for me to not accept, because I feel like I've accepted it now, but like work with, is you're not detallista.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying at all, because special occasions, I have my flowers, I have my present, and he goes all out for it. But it's like, he's never been that detallista, you know, like growing, like when we started dating, he would give me flowers, everything, like he hasn't changed that much, you know. So it's like he's not detallista, and you see these girls always getting their morning flowers and always being like, oh baby, I love you, my honey, peaches of oats, you know. And then you see like later down the road, oh, he does this, and oh, he cheated on her,
he
and
was cheating on me the
he
whole
was
time he was
a
getting
terrible
flowers.
father, oh, he yelled at the kids. And I feel like even the most extreme one that I've seen is this huge TikTok creator that just recently came out that her husband's a pedophile. And then 2 weeks later, she's vlogging, and he got arrested, right? She's vlogging, he's out on bail, and he's sitting on her couch with her kids still there, you know? So for me, like looking at Jonathan and being like, literally his core, what Jonathan is and how he was raised, loving God, knowing even like the smallest thing, knowing pornography isn't okay, knowing masturbating isn't okay, and me being so secure knowing that we're all safe around him has been the main thing that I love and praise God. And I'm like, God, thank you so much for giving me this man, because I know growing up, whatever happens, like those core values never change. Whereas though all of these, like just picking on that one girl, for example, the TikTok creator, it's like, oh yeah, maybe he was very detallista, because he was so detallista and like so loving, and like they looked like the perfect marriage. He ended up being one of the worst things that you can find out your husband is, you know? So it's like, yeah, like I as that's like one of your fluff, you know, you're not very detallista, but like, I just know I'm safe with you, you know, and our kids are safe with you and everyone's safe with you. So it's like, you just have to sit down and I guess this is going to be your homework. Like, for everyone that has been struggling with your marriage, just sit down and analyze the core of your person and being like, well, I love all of this about him. Can you work on that? Like, can I sit down and be like, hey, babe, oh, even Jonathan, like, slowly with, I guess, more indirectas, he knows like, oh, she loves when I bring home a coffee after I come home from the gym. And then you started implementing that, you know? So it's like things like that. But core things like how they grow up, what their interests are.
They're going to be a good dad.
Are they going to be a good dad? Are they going to be a good husband when you're sick, you know? Those are things that you can't change. So those are the things that you focus on, you know? But yeah, that was my whole rant, guys. Analyze your core person. Yeah. And do it before you get married. Like, if there's people dating,
you can't do it when
you're married. It gets really hard. I'm not gonna lie. So we've seen it all.
Or even if you're married and you're struggling, you know, maybe you guys have been sleeping. He's been sleeping on the couch for maybe you're watching this at the right time for a reason. Your husband, it's his 5th day on the couch. You're still mad. You guys haven't talked, and maybe analyze it. Is he a piece of shit dad that yells at his kids, isn't there for you, is always on, like, you know, sports and stuff like that, but doesn't give you the attention? Then it's like, oh, he's on the couch. We fought about this, but he's such a good dad. Goes to the kids' parent-teacher conferences, builds me anything I ever want, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah, you just have, it's like everyone says, you have to put the pros and the cons, and if the cons outweigh it, that freaking sucks. And if the pros outweigh it, then let go of some of the cons if they're like little things, you know. So yeah, forget the little things, because it's like the little things can actually make you and break you. But usually when you think about it, it's like, well, were the little things really what caused the divorce, or was it this?
Because at the end of the day, like, movies do such a horrible job at, like, the soulmate, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you think of your soulmate, like, a lot of girls, you know, when we're struggling or like when a lot of girls are struggling with their marriage, or guys, we like to think about, like, you know, when I've been at my roughest point with Blanca, and it's like, fuck, like, let me start to think, like, she's a great mom, but if she did this, would I like her more? And it'd be like, you want to say yes, but you never know. Like, no one's perfect in this world, you know? So, like, when a movie says, oh my God, I found my soulmate, everything's perfect, that's not possible, guys. So when I say, like, Blanca's my soulmate, but do we fight a lot? Yes, but, like, she's the closest thing to that movie thing. Yeah. That makes sense. Because
do we fight a lot? Yes.
That thing, I mean, do we fight? Yes.
Do we bicker?
Do we bicker a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. So, because it's not, like, even the couples that have been, like, you know, the cute little, like, 50 years, all that, like, they say it was hard. The hardest thing ever is working on your marriage.
Yeah, and I feel something that a lot of older couples have said a lot too is we've had to forgive a lot, you know? So it's like, obviously your non-negotiables, cheating, whatever, that makes sense. But it's like, you know, he didn't bring me flowers this week. Instead of being like, I'm so mad at him, like, how does he not know that I want flowers this week? You can change that and be like, hey, babe, you didn't get me flowers this week, and it makes my week when you get me flowers on Monday. So please, you know? So it's like, I know sometimes as a wife, you feel like, I don't want to ask him, like, he should know. But it's like, also as a wife, he's your husband. So you have to mold them into who you want them to be too.
Yeah. You know? Because that guy at work be looking real cute, ladies, and he might get you flowers, but when you leave your husband for him and you settle down, he might be a pedophile.
And you don't even know.
He might hit your own kids, or you know what I mean? You just don't let go of a good core for some fluff.
Oh, dang. Jonathan 2024. Vote him.
Or guys, you know, guys listening to this, you know, you have a good girl at home. Maybe she, you know, doesn't look like the same in high school. Maybe she's always angry. Maybe this and that. And then your coworker at work is like a single, no kids type of thing. And you're like, well, I'm going to go for this and cheat on my wife. It's like, you really going to throw all that down the drain just for some meat, literally meat, like physical pleasure. You know what I mean?
You just said something that really, like, opened my eyes to it. It's like, when you're like, oh, she's always mad. And John, I feel like you've always said, right? Like, was it you or was it me that said you have to fight hate with love, kind of? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's literally like a toddler, guys. And I've noticed this with Franco. The more mad he is, the more calm you have to be and the more loving you have to be. So it's like, if your wife is mad all the time, if you start loving her more, it's going to change completely, because it's always been said that a wife is a reflection of the man she has at the house. So it's like if the wife is always mad, if this is always that, something is lacking in the husband, you know? So it's like if you're loving your wife consistently, being, I love you, you're so beautiful, you're a great mom, I'm going to kiss you all the time, I'm going to cuddle you all the time, you literally start to see her flourish, you know? So, and it's the same with your husband too. It's like, could I look past some of the things that he does, and instead of like bickering and nagging him, could I be loving him more and telling him more like, hey babe, can you take the trash out? He'd be like, oh shit, I forgot. Instead of being like, are you gonna take the trash out or not? You know? So it's like you have to really, when you think that you're getting more angry, you have to love them more, I feel like. And then it usually ends up settling down. Because
men never grow up, guys. We just, what's that saying? Men never grow up. We just buy different toys or something like that.
Oh my God.
That's literally me.
Men never grow up. They just get money and buy different toys. Period. But anyways, guys, that's all. Take what we say with a grain of salt and implement, like, just literally take what you think is going to help with your life, because we're still in a really new marriage. Like, we haven't been married for decades and decades, you know? So, yeah, whatever we say, if we can help at least one of you even a little bit, that'd be great.
Or if you can help us out in the comments, you know?
Just comment
We're
it
all
on
ears.
over. Yes, we are.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy November. Hopefully you make it a great one. And then December, you already know December, the presents and all that vacations coming up. So November, really lock in. Don't go out to eat. Don't buy unnecessary stuff. Start saving up poquito poquito so you can have money for gifts. You know?
Buy the gifts on Black Friday.
Oh, guys. And we will start doing giveaways for like stuff, like, you know how we used to do the Starbucks cards?
Oh, yeah.
Some girl told me I showed off my Chick-fil-A points the other day because I have this thing against using them. Like, I'll personally never use them myself, but then she's like, you know, you can give them away. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. I'll start giving away Chick-fil-A points, guys.
Yeah, or even like money just for your Thanksgiving groceries. But yeah, guys, happy November 1st. Go follow me on Instagram to see me screaming my lungs out at the Sabrina Carpenter concert, and we'll see you guys next week.
Tune in the next podcast to see if we got freaky or not.
Oh my God.
Yay Media Group.